Yo, what's up, everybody? This is coming live from the Slightly Buzzed podcast studio. Three, two, one. Bang. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of the Slightly Buzzed podcast.
Number 13. Let's go.
Lucky number 13, or is it unlucky number 13?
Lucky number 13, dude.
Yeah,
Screw that. I'm not here for that negativity, bro. 13 is the number.
Although this is dropping on Friday the 13th. So
It's not dropping on Friday the 13th. It's just dropping on Friday.
You're right. It's like Friday the 21st.
I'm like, we passed the 13th, dog.
Quarantine's got me all messed up, dude.
Friday, episode 13. Is there a correlation? Yes.
Dude, you know why I said that? Is because earlier today I thought you said we're dropping... You just said we're dropping episode 13 on Friday.
Yeah.
No.
Tim was like, what? That's awesome.
But, yeah, so tonight we got another beer review. We got a bunch of big podcast news, not even regarding our podcast.
Shit is going down in the podcast world, y'all.
It is crazy right now. We just hit 300 followers on Instagram. Thanks for everyone for following our channel.
Gang. Now, if all 300 of you go click that subscribe button,
be way cooler.
Yeah, it'd be so sick. We appreciate the support nonetheless.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, I don't know, you guys. How's your day been?
It's been swell, dude. I've been looking forward to shooting this all day. You know, it's kind of like my highlight. I love having you guys, around. Brings energy.
Yeah.
So I'm feeling good. Kyle, how are you?
Feeling good. Good day. Productive day at work. I'm good.
Yeah, I feel that. Today was a long day, but we're back. We're in the studio.
We're in the saddle.
Feeling good. I got a free bottle of bourbon today.
Elite.
Small batch Traverse City Whiskey Company, and it was absolutely delicious. Had a nice little glass.
It was good, yeah.
So Tim got a nice bottle of bourbon today, and got a nice hole in his pants today too.
Yeah, dude.
Ripped his pants.
I was moving some furniture and squatted, and I just heard it, and I was like, no.
Yeah, my holes in my pants are intentional though, so I'm exposing the knees for the viewers.
Those are not there.
He's like, yeah, dude, it's called fashion. Maybe you should try it every once in a while.
I don't like to toot my own horn, but swag.
Yeah, dude, those jeans suck.
Gang, bro. Rip Jean Club. What up?
Get out of here. All right, let's drink some beer. I got something good tonight. We're going to be drinking a beer from Latitude 42 Brewing Company. They're
Latitude 42.
Michigan.
That's kind of a mouthful.
Latitude 42?
Yeah. Like, say it 3 times fast, can you?
I don't know. It's
Latitude
not as
42,
long as
Latitude 42, Latitude 42. Easy money.
That was not fast.
It was pretty fast. All right. So,
Latitude
42 Brewing Company.
I knew it was coming. Sorry, Kyle. What'd you say?
No, you're cool. They got spots out in Portage, Michigan and Kalamazoo, Michigan. We're going to be drinking their Michigan Honey Amber Ale, an ale brewed with locally sourced wildflower honey amber. Sweet.
Dope. Sorry. I think my glass got chipped, bro.
Oh, no.
Our mugs are kind of deteriorating. You put them in the dishwasher once and everything goes to shit.
You hate to see it. Sorry. Yeah, dude, I'm stoked to have this beer.
Kyle, this is the toss right here. Are you ready?
Are you ready?
Don't short it.
No, he shorted it. Nick Hovey, short. But yeah, no, I've been to Latitude 42 before. Definitely haven't had this beer. I went there about a year. It's while Sarah was still pregnant with my niece. So
I've never been there.
I want to see. Yeah, it's just outside of Kalamazoo there off M43. It's a great spot. The vibes were absolutely phenomenal, not going to lie.
Sweet. We'll have a good place with some good vibes.
I had a really good meal. I had like lobster roll. Lobster roll.
Oh, you fancy, huh?
Oh, dude, it was only like $15. It was delicious.
You think you are?
Nice.
You fancy, huh?
I'm a badass bitch.
But yeah, no,
bitch.
I think I ended up having an old fashioned there, and then one of their beers, if I'm not mistaken. Kind of the general go around for your boy. But yeah, no, it was a very solid atmosphere. It was very like modern.
Shout out surface tension. Look at that pour.
This guy needs to learn to not fill it so he can do the swirl and sniff.
Yeah, this guy sucks. Well,
Every
yeah,
episode.
let's also be real. He's definitely gonna drink before any of us, so
Yeah.
that will be.
I'm surprised he hasn't drank already.
Yeah.
Yes, maybe I will.
But you liked the spot when you went, Tim?
Yeah, no, it was a very good time. I went with
You're right,
my
boys.
brother-in-law and sister.
Made a huge mistake.
You blew it. Yeah. So, like I said, it was a great spot. It was modern with kind of a. I don't know the exact word to say. It wasn't quite like cabin vibes, but it was a little rustic.
Like a rustic modern
Yeah.
setting.
Yeah.
That's cool, man.
It was very nice. They had a big back window opened up, and it was snowing. And it was a
Ooh.
very nice afternoon.
Love the setting, dude.
Yeah,
Chilling at the
no.
bar. I mean, Latitude 42s, but it's a brewing company.
Yeah, I believe
So-
they had. I want to say that's where they had they did all the brewing itself as well. I'm not 100% sure on that though. But yeah,
That's cool.
it was a really cool spot. The food was phenomenal. The service, I remember distinctively the service being really nice. They had like the online or the tablet menus. Don't do it. They had the tablet menus, but you literally just, if I remember correctly, you like ordered from the table
Okay.
without
you
really.
like click the buttons and they just get the order back in the
Yeah,
back.
and then the server came up, but it was packed in there. So we went and sat at the bar. That's when I had my old fashioned, which was delicious.
Gotcha.
Then we got our table. Yeah, that was definitely another one of the Tag Brew places.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice, man. No, it sounds like a good joint. I got to make it out there. I love Kazoo. So it sounds like a spot to hit, honestly. What, it's in Portage?
Yeah,
right?
they got two spots. They
It's not
got
even
one
in Kalamazoo. It's in
Well, they have a Portage and a Kalamazoo
Oh, do they?
location.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
They're close.
For sure. Maybe they do most of their brewing in Portage then. Is that the home base, or
Dude,
is
I'm
Kalamazoo
like,
the home base?
I'm like 99% sure Kalamazoo is where they do the brewing.
Okay.
Well, what I'm seeing is that there's actually two beer menus, one for each location. The beer we're trying tonight, this Honey Amber Ale, looks like they have it at both.
Boys,
But
it smells so good.
I'd have to compare. Yeah.
Wow. It smells a little sour.
Really get that. I'm not going to lie, dude. I can smell the honey. Like, you can smell how sweet it is.
You get did you catch the sour on the front end?
Yeah.
Like
big
very
time.
yeasty.
Yeah, yeasty. That's perfect. That's
Yeah.
a perfect word.
But yeah, I'm catching some honey.
It smells like spring. Keeping it on par.
See, Nick, you see what we're doing here, Nick?
Nope.
Where we didn't fill our glass all the way?
You look. Nope.
Little grassy as well.
Didn't see that at all.
Well,
I was just showing the people how well these glasses hold a full 16-ounce can. So.
Yeah, a little grassy, definitely malty.
It's very pleasant.
Yeah,
you're
no,
right.
very-
You're right. Yeast and then sweetness. It's like they're battling it out,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
but not fighting one another.
Well, boys,
Let's give her a
I'm
sip.
excited to try. This is once again Latitude 42's Michigan Honey Amber.
Cheers,
Cheers,
fellas.
boys.
Cheers.
Enjoy.
Yeah. Once again,
Whoa.
my taste buds are salivating like crazy.
Whoa.
Right out of the gate.
Yeah, but not from bitterness.
No.
Last time it was from like a nice strong bitterness. This one,
It's very dry on the back.
Well, I
half.
want to say that it's really just the hops that really make your mouth water or salivate. So you really get that like excuse my slurp, but it's like it doesn't really taste like a normal amber. I get it's a honey amber, so it's probably not gonna. But like, I will say I'm pleasantly surprised with what it tastes like. It's citrusy almost. It's on the sweeter side.
It's citrusy. It's. I'm not gonna lie. It's not in a bad way. I'm pretty pleasantly surprised with what I'm tasting so far.
Yeah.
But it's kind of all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
The bitterness is almost more in the texture than the taste. I'm getting a very dry finish.
I agree.
I do agree.
It's very malty.
Because of that initial, it's what's weird, dude. Because of how citrusy it is right out of the gate, and it finishes so dry.
Yeah,
It is an interesting.
it is a bitter finish
Profile.
but lightly bitter, not super heavy. But it initially is making my mouth kind of dry on the back half. I said a lot of malt I'm getting, and the yeast is just as prevalent in the smell as it is in the taste.
Yeah,
I'll back that up. Yeah, I'm struggling
It's
to
almost
put
like a-
words to it. but
and like a mild sour tint to it.
That's what
That
Tim
actually
said.
Kinda like right
that
out of the
makes
gate.
a lot of sense.
Yeah, you
It's
get-
not. It doesn't taste anything like a sour does or like
No.
a heavy sour does, but that makes so much sense. And I don't think in words that actually makes much sense. But if you taste it, you're like, that makes...
Yeah, like it smacks you right out of the gate. Like you get that full-blown blast of like that kind of like hoppy, fruity, and that slight sour twist to it. And then
Yeah.
that dry back half. Just,
The hops kick in for sure.
yeah, yeah. It actually has a very interesting profile. Like I said, I'm pleasantly surprised with what this
Yeah.
beer is presenting itself with. And not to mention, it's a beautiful color, too.
Oh, yeah.
It, like,
we
it
didn't
looks
even
like
touch
honey.
on that.
It looks like honey.
But it's also... It hazes up with a little bit of a stir.
Does yours have like a weird like dark tone in the middle and the top and the bottom are a bit lighter? Look at mine.
Yeah.
Maybe it's just the lighting in here, but mine looks like the center is super dark and the top half and the bottom half are
That's
light.
definitely from the logo.
No, the logo's over here. I'm looking at it like directly through the other side.
That's your hand.
Sick.
You guys sound
I
ridiculous.
do have one of those.
No, dude, if you just go like this... Yeah, changes the game.
Sweet, dude. Yeah, let me give that a whirl. Oh my god, look at that.
Yeah, but once you spin it a little bit, it gets a lot hazier.
Sure.
It's interesting. Yeah, I'm not upset with this beer whatsoever, so I think it's very solid. At 5.5%, kind of feels about right for that.
Mm-hmm.
Yo, try something out for me. Take a little bit, put it on your tongue. Do not inhale, do not swallow. Let it sit on your tongue. You can feel almost like a mild sting, I think, from that sour flavor that you're picking up on.
Oh yeah,
I'm
100%.
feeling it in my mouth. But it's strange because once it goes down, it doesn't go down with that same bite. It goes down smooth.
It's actually a good
Now
call
is your
because when you
tongue-
do that, it really emphasizes those floral notes.
Yeah, and now is
Especially-
your tongue kind of dry?
Oh, yeah, the whole time. After
Yeah.
I take each sip, it's drying it
interesting.
out.
Not in
I
a
like
bad
that.
way,
No,
though.
no, I like that.
Interesting.
I'm cool with that.
I guess I get like the dry, like it leaves like a dry taste, but like my taste buds are forever just popping off.
Yeah.
Like I'm like
It's-
legitimately
this
salivating over
is-
here like crazy.
I think the best way, I don't know if this is a beer term whatsoever, but this is a very active beer. Does that make sense? It's
In
just,
what
it's
sense? In its
dynamic, too.
flavors?
yeah, dynamic, active.
Super
It's just
dynamic.
kind of all over the place. It's giving me a lot on the way in, on the way out, in the middle. It's like 3 different experiences built into one sip.
Yeah, because that I like the way you put that. I don't know if that was a beer term, but when I take the first sip, there is like a bite that I expected it to be much stronger and much more bitter on the back half, but it's not. It's almost like it separated itself from that portion of the taste as you continue on.
Yeah, this is the first beer that's like physically dried my mouth out like this.
All right, some of the IPAs have done that for me.
I
don't
can't
know.
say that I'm having the same. Well, like for what you were saying there, exactly. I'm experiencing exactly what you said, except for my mouth's not getting dry.
That's weird.
I'm not experiencing that, but nonetheless, very dynamic beer, awesome profile.
I feel like this is going to be interesting to see how it ages throughout the podcast.
Yeah.
Or sits on us.
And it's
Yeah.
like each time you get a different taste, like something else pops up almost.
Yeah.
Like you notice something else. I don't know. Really good. I'm happy with it. I'm excited to continue sipping on this boy.
Yeah, I feel like, I don't know, this could go one of 2 ways. Not going to lie. I could see myself not liking this as much towards the back half.
Sure.
I could also see it growing on me very well, but I guess only time will tell.
Yeah, maybe if it warms up a little bit, maybe those flavors kind of
Yeah.
get maybe
Like I
like
said,
flat.
right now-
don't pop as much.
First impression, very solid beer. Just very active.
Yeah.
It's just a little all over the place. And
There's just a lot of
sometimes,
strong notes. Like it's not as if there's like a main note with other things complementing it. It feels like
Yeah,
they're
it's
Yeah, it
brought
like
goes from
strong-
very
super in your
distinct.
face to just like gone.
It's
but
crazy.
the goneness of it is its own, like, flavor, or not flavor, but you know what I'm saying? It's in
like
its own
aspect.
experience.
Yeah.
Tim's like, I love, hate to see her go, but I love to watch it leave.
Yeah, that's exactly. I'm conflicted right
Love
now.
to taste
in
it
a very
leave.
good way. Very, very good way.
All right, don't overthink it. We'll come back in a little bit after
Yeah.
we've had more opportunities.
Oh, I'm excited to circle back on it later. See what we got. But Tim, we got some shit going down in the podcast world, dude.
We do. So this last week we've seen a couple of controversies in the podcast realm
Yeah, man.
and some big news. So I guess probably best to start off with the biggest podcast in the world,
The big boy.
arguably, the Joe Rogan Experience.
JRE.
Today, I want to say, he announced that he was going to exclusively stream through Spotify. That is both for his audio and his video.
Yep.
Now, he said there's no additional paywall. I'm pretty sure you can still watch it in its entirety through without Spotify Premium. So
Yeah.
I don't think you have to pay whatsoever.
Don't need Spotify Premium.
No additional paywall.
But the big thing is, the big kicker here is that after, I think he said the first of the year, you're not going to be able to stream the show on YouTube like you can now.
Yeah, that ends September 1st, actually.
Yes. Okay.
Or wait.
No.
Ooh, September 1st.
That's when they go to Spotify.
It's going to Spotify
Yeah.
and all other platforms.
Said by the end of the year,
Yeah.
it won't be shown on YouTube.
You guys nailed it. Yep.
Yeah. So you'll still get like small clips, I guess, like some of the highlight takes
Yeah, I
that they
think
always do.
The JRE clips.
Yeah. But
Beast
to
clips.
watch the
Yeah.
whole thing, you got to go to Spotify.
I mean,
Which
I'm sure he secured that bag,
Yeah.
so I'm not even mad at him. But my biggest question is, do you think that maybe he left YouTube because he was doing fine? Dude's fine
YouTube's
on
on
money.
some shit.
He is completely fine on money. Like,
Mhm.
I doubt that moving to Spotify. I mean, they may be paying him a lucrative amount, but he's already set for life.
Yeah.
He was raking in over 100K per episode in
Mhm.
ad revenue. So, and he's got what, like 1,400 podcasts in?
Oh yeah.
That's crazy, dude.
So that's not to mention he's doing that. That money is completely aside from his YouTube ad revenue,
Yep.
from his his stand-up revenue, which I'm sure is insane. He's one of the hottest.
Not to
tickets in
mention how much he
stand-up
gets
comedy.
paid for posting on Instagram for
He doesn't really do too much. I think
He
he's
does.
actually
He's
staunch.
casual. I see a lot of like Traeger Grills posts that he
Yeah.
does.
Yeah, but he doesn't get paid by them.
Really.
By Traeger
Yeah,
Grills.
100%.
Did they give him a free grill?
Yeah, he talks about it all the time. He says he just makes posts about stuff he generally enjoys.
Okay.
He did it for that So Right
Nice.
brand.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
did it
dude,
for
I have a
Traeger
So Right. It's
Grills.
amazing. I love that thing. I literally got So Right because I saw it on Rogan's podcast.
Yeah.
I was like, my back is killing me 24/7. So right it is, and so right I was. God.
Yeah, I tried that
Yeah.
thing once. It hurt a lot.
Oh, she'll make you see Jesus, that's for sure. But it is quite the experience. I'll tell you what. Once you get used to it, it's beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Tim, I actually want to know what your opinion is as to why he is leaving YouTube. Why do you think he's going to Spotify? You said not the money.
Well, yeah,
But-
I think it's fair to say, is what I was just talking about. Like, he is. We can rule out the fact that it probably wasn't because he needs money.
Dude's got bags.
Dude's got bags.
Yeah.
Car
So
buying problem.
I have to imagine,
I wish I had that problem.
if you notice, if you're a follower of Joe's content like we are, or at least like I am, I don't know about you guys, but it seems like lately
You questioning
he's-
my fan status, bro?
Yeah, what the hell, dude?
You guys don't watch as much Rogan as I do.
I'm gonna shave my
Yeah,
head.
definitely not. But I still
Bro, I
watch
did
Rogan. Okay.
DMT 4 times last week.
Whoa, that's an issue. We're gonna have to talk
Never
after
done
this.
DMT, but but yeah, I think if you know, if there's like a pattern in his content lately where he just kind of seems disgruntled with YouTube,
Yeah.
and a lot of what seems like fairly far left wing social policies on all streaming platforms.
There's a lot of censorship going on right
Yeah, and I don't think he's a fan of it. 2, he's talking about like leaving California.
Yeah,
Just
they've been
in
discussing
general,
it, him and his
I
friends.
think he's really kind of reshaping his
He's so
life
torn on it,
perspective or life view.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the one thing he loves in the world more than anything else, other than his dog, is the Comedy Store in L.A. And he's like, if we can't go to the Comedy Store for 2 years because Newsom won't open it up at all, like, I'm going to Texas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, Brendan Schaub and Brian Callen are doing dates 2 weekends from now.
Well, he's talked about it before on his podcast too, where he's like, I don't know how people like. He's like, I could not see me doing something like this, like anywhere else in California, because everybody's already here. Like, it's so convenient for people to just pop by and do the show with me for the majority of like the guests he has.
You just mean like big names?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Exactly.
and also, he's, like, genuinely good friends with those big
Yeah, and
names.
that's
Sure.
the thing too. A lot of his friends they live out in California. So he was like talking about. He's like, yeah, I could definitely see myself living in all these different places. I mean, he likes to hunt and he likes the outdoors and he likes nature and being a part of those scenes. But at the same time, like, he also loves his podcast and he loves the people he hangs out with and the Comedy Store, obviously. So he's talked about it before, like how torn he is on like. He's like, yeah, there's things I hate about California, but at the same time, it's so convenient living here.
Yeah, he's also like, and California taxes suck.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Dude, I bet he's taxed at over 60%.
I wouldn't be shocked.
California's California state tax is so progressive. It's insane.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, dude. Rogan's backstory to me is just so funny. He's like, yeah, I'm the Fear Factor guy. And then all of a sudden, he was just like, yeah, I run the biggest podcast in the world.
Well, it's funny because he was actually doing the podcast during Fear Factor. If you watch those early ones,
Yeah.
he said he's just like, yeah, I just did it, hung out with my friends. We got super baked and just
Started
he's
shooting
like,
the shit.
He's just like, we'd get barbecued and talk on this thing, and a couple hundred people would watch, and then, it was just somewhere to work on my comedy skills and stuff like that. And he's like, and then one day I looked up, and his quote was, now I've got fuck you money.
Yeah.
He's just like, all from just sitting here and talking.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of same thing with Shop, dude. He was like, yeah, he's like, basically finished my last fight and saw my paycheck compared to my fight in my YouTube paycheck. And he's like, or the podcast paycheck. I think it was YouTube based, but most of his revenue from it. But
No, I actually think the early fighter and the kid stuff was solely on Fox.
yeah. Oh, was it? Okay.
Yeah, it's not
So
on
he was like, well, this is a no-brainer. Why the hell am I going to get my head beat in
Yeah.
or go out here and fight when I just do this? Get
Did you
paid more.
hear the conversation between Rogan and Shab, though? I know Tim did.
Oh, dude.
It was hilarious because Rogan was like,
I don't.
Shab, he was like, Shab, I know you've worked very hard as a fighter over the years, but you're not going to beat the best people in your league. As a matter of
He's like,
fact, they're going to
dude,
kick
you're not
your
gonna be
ass.
that good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was
He's
just
like,
like,
don't fight. You're
he
going to
was
get your
like-
head beat in.
You're super athletic and you pick this up at a late age, but you'll never get to the high level wrestling or high level grappling or high level striking as
Yeah.
guys who have been doing it since they were 4 years
Yeah.
old. He's like, and not to mention, you have a foot out the door already.
Yeah.
You've gotten a taste of the podcast life, a little bit of
Run with it.
stuff. And he's like, and I'm happy for you. You should be doing that. And Shab was like, no, I don't think I'm 1 foot out the door. 2 months later, he's like, goodbye.
Yeah, for real.
He's like, turns out, I'm 1 foot out
Yeah.
the door.
But besides the point, yeah, I think he's kind of fed up with, if I had to guess, this is purely speculation, there's no validity factually behind this.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of sick of how YouTube is trending. And one, I'm sure he is making more money. He obviously isn't going to leave
dude.
to make less money. And I just think Spotify gave him a spot where nothing would be altered, nothing would be demonetized. He can...
Wasn't gonna have to worry about anything that was talked about. It was like, just here's a platform
Yeah.
for you to put your show however you want to put
I
it.
also bet his... Oh, this is interesting. Do you think his range of guests is going to get larger now? Because let's
More
think about
freedom.
Dude,
this.
he had Snowden. How much range do you get?
Snowden's huge, but Snowden isn't this hated figure by them.
I think what Tim's hinting at is
Like
the
Alex
guests will be more willing to come on, / like the platform will be more accepting of the
Sure.
guests that could
Yeah.
come on.
I think
Okay.
you're going to see a lot more, knowing how Joe Rogan is, I think you're going to maybe see a little more like Alex Jones type stuff. If that, you know what I'm saying? Because he
Yeah.
got so
What
much
are they doing
hate.
to the frogs?
The turn of the frogs gay. He got so much hate for having Alex Jones on the podcast, and
Yeah.
YouTube demonetized
Well-
it. And I think just stuff like that. And Joe Rogan and Alex Jones has said some terrible things. Once again, we are not pro Alex Jones and some of the things he says. But also, he's a funny entertainer, and that's what Joe Rogan loves about him. They've been
Yeah.
friends since the early 90s. He's like, this guy's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, too, I mean, you're going to get... I mean, I see what you're saying, and I get the idea of it, but at the same time, Spotify's the number one...
Streaming platform in
Yeah,
the
streaming
world.
platform there is. So, I mean, if you go from YouTube to Spotify, I mean, I feel like you're still going to get hate.
Yeah, but
I don't
you're
see
not
that
going to get
nec-
demonetized.
Oh, well, yeah, for sure. But you're talking about, like, having certain people on that may not wanted to go on before. So that's what I'm
Or
getting
that he
at.
may not have wanted to have on. Maybe
Because
it
he
just
knew
didn't
he
work.
wasn't going to
Okay, so you're saying it from Joe's perspective.
Yeah, why
Oh, I
would-
thought you were saying it from guest perspective.
think
Like,
you
maybe
could
he's
argue
asked
for
certain
both.
people
I
to be
was-
on and they didn't want to be
Yeah, I
on
was
because of
strictly
that?
talking about from
Okay.
Joe's perspective.
Okay, so yeah, I was on the opposite
Well,
side
then
of
I
that
said
coin.
it wrong because I interpreted it as like both people would now be more willing.
Right. So,
Yeah, I think no matter the case, if you get an invitation to go on the Joe Rogan Experience, you're gonna go.
Yeah,
If
I
you
mean,
turn
you
it
should.
down, you're done.
I feel like there has been people that turned it down.
Unless you're full of shit, you're probably not turning it down.
I mean, it'd be cool. I'd definitely go. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Like, Joe, instead of doing a podcast, we go say we walk around your garage and you just let me test drive some of your cars.
Yeah.
It's
You
65
know what?
Corvette.
Though, and like on this topic, I think it makes sense that he would be making the move to Spotify for the reasons that you say. Because as a comedian, he wants to be able to speak his mind freely, as a creative person who like hosts podcasts and has all these discussions, he wants to be able to speak his mind freely.
Yeah.
You're right. The content lately has been him being like, "What's going on over here in the YouTube space?" He's been saying that more than normal.
It's going to be interesting to see what YouTube counters with. You know for a fact. Her name's the CEO of YouTube, Susan. Oh, I can't remember her last name, but I want to say her first name's Susan. That's one of their highest grossing accounts.
Well, yeah, for
Joe
sure.
Rogan is a huge appeal to YouTube.
But at the same time, I mean, they ultimately do it to themselves. Like, YouTube's supposed to be a space where you can post.
Oh, YouTube's absurd. YouTube's absolutely absurd.
I get that there needs to be certain things that maybe not shown on there.
Like, 100%.
I get that. But, like, when it comes to a podcast, it's just talking with people about real-life things. Why does there need to be censorship on that?
Also, the entire YouTube algorithm is kind of skewed to push some ideas forward and some ideas back.
Yeah.
It's no longer a platform that people see as unbiased. Like, it has been proven that the algorithm promotes certain views over others. And you know what? Guess what? That's fine. They're a private company. They can do whatever they want. I have no issue with that.
Right.
Do I think it's right for them to do that, but also claim this independent status? Like, we just let people post whatever, but they bury videos and shadow ban people.
Like
no, it's totally misleading.
That's where I get the issue with it.
Totally natty, bro. That's what it is.
No, 100%.
By the way, it was Susan Wojcicki.
Yeah.
What a spelling.
Yeah, Wojcicki.
I think YouTube actually is one of the #1 left jobs in the world, actually.
Reviewing
There's
content.
like content reviewers for people who like go through and like check out stuff that is will be kicked off YouTube, basically.
They leave their job?
Yeah, they quit their job because of the amount of like effed up stuff they see. That are like videos that are posted that they have to go through and censor because some of it's that bad that a lot of them just quit.
Whoever gets assigned, whoever gets assigned to like the Russian uploads, they're like, Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Yeah, like putting cats in suspension springs and sending a semi down the road. Yeah,
Jeez.
like that stuff's insane.
What are you watching on YouTube?
No, I'm telling you, like I watched a thing on it in class at school, and they were showing us like how media platforms do certain things. And this is one of the things they touched on was like YouTube censorship. And we watched it was like a TED Talk kind of deal, but it wasn't actually a TED Talk. And like they were like giving examples of like videos, and you know, it's insane. Some of the stuff that people post. So I get why some things need to be just eliminated because it's just that effed up. But
yeah, no, and like I said, they're
having
a private
discourse
enterprise.
having discourse between two people or more than two people, whatever it is, that should not be. I don't know.
Yeah, it's not like Joe Rogan's out here having Richard Spencer on his show or anything like that.
Yeah, I mean, I think there's layers to it.
Yeah, 100%.
Tim, you think we'll end up getting flagged ever?
Oh, probably because of me.
Yeah, I'm just concerned with how much skin you're showing on those knees. They're going to call us for nudity.
Explicit content.
Too much
Nick,
knee.
This is the podcast studio, not your OnlyFans studio.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Sorry, boys. I
I'm
get it mixed
excited.
up every once in a while.
Yeah, I'm excited for the Rogan move. Honestly, my phone dies every day because I'm playing YouTube videos and I don't have the premium.
No, your phone dies every day because you don't freaking charge it.
This is true.
Kyle's the only person you'll ever meet. He'll show up. He'll show up to shoot a podcast and be like, "Laptop's dead, phone's dead. Anybody got a charger?" What?
I brought my own charger.
This
What?
is 100% true.
If the computer he's using
Low
right now
battery.
was not plugged into an outlet, it would be dead.
Yeah, true.
Guaranteed fact.
It's still low battery somehow.
Yeah.
It's a joke.
Probably figure that one
Jesus.
out.
It's a
Yeah, you should
joke.
probably figure that out.
Yeah.
Oh my
But-
lord.
Yeah, no, I'm honestly a little upset because I'm an Apple Music kind of guy. So
Same.
I'm going to have to download Spotify, which sucks. It's solely for the Joe Rogan experience.
Dude, I'm gonna be honest, dude. I paid for Apple Music and Spotify for
Apple
a single
Music's
month.
10,000 times better.
Well, like I literally downloaded both, paid for like both of them for a month, and went back and forth between the two to figure out which one I liked better. That's how much I actually dedicated myself to figuring out which one I liked more, and I chose Apple Music at the end of the day.
Apple Music's a better app. There's no debates about this.
And I know a lot of people use Spotify, and Spotify's got a lot of cool features that I wish Apple Music kind of did. But at the same time,
Like what?
like at the end of the year when it tells you what you listen to, everybody posts that stuff. That's
that
sweet.
was sick. I
They
was in
do that for
Florida,
Apple
going through my
Music.
list.
No, but it's not as easy to access though.
Dude, literally, you just go to your profile and say, you click the thing. It took me 10 seconds.
Does Apple Music? He's big. He's really
Yeah,
fighting
he's
this
big
Apple
Apple
Music.
Music guy.
No, because me and
I just
Kirsten-
use it.
No. Me and Kirsten had this exact same argument. She was like, well, Apple Music doesn't show you what you listen to this year. I was like, yes, it does.
Yeah.
And then I found it in 2 seconds.
But it doesn't put it in a cool way like Spotify does.
Does it have those cool videos?
Yes.
Like
Yeah.
some songs where they play?
Doubt
and it's
it.
like-
Nobody posted
yes,
that.
it does.
Like
I
T. Grizzly,
literally,
like-
I literally posted it to my Instagram story.
Yours is
Super-
probably
oh.
whack, dude.
My what?
Dude, my top 10, I bet I could find it right now, actually. My top 10 was all over the place. It was like...
Morgan Wallen.
Number one, I want to say
Leonard
was...
Skinner.
It's probably Brothers Osborne, some
Brothers
Metallica
Osborne.
shit, maybe.
No. It was...
Alice in Chains.
Alice in Chains was
Nirvana.
Like fourth. Nirvana didn't make the cut. It was
That's
like...
a lie.
100%. It was... I want to say Mac Miller was number one. I'm wearing the Mac shirt today. Brothers Osborne was number 2. Skinnerd was number 3. Gordon Lightfoot was 5th. I was all over the place, man. 4th, I think, was Alice in Chains. And then the rest.
Slime
Drake-
Season
Drake
3.
was
We're good with
six.
Or
top
Slime
five.
Season
Yeah.
2,
Top
whatever it
five
was.
is good.
Slime Season.
I haven't listened to Young Thug in a minute. But
Yeah,
Slime
right.
Season 3, iconic album.
It's probably been a minute since
Was
he
it?
listened. He's probably bumping it on the way here.
It's funny. You know, I've always loved Spotify, and I'm not saying it's better than Apple Music.
Yeah.
I don't know about Apple Music, but now I'm intrigued.
Like I said, I've used
I'm just saying, I actually went through the freaking ringer and paid for
it's
both.
a much like cleaner
your fault.
app.
Well,
that
I
makes
wanted
sense.
to know. I was totally willing to accept the cost.
All right, listen. You take your clean app and enjoy it. Me and Joe Rogan are going to go over to Spotify and just talk to some cool people.
If you
Yeah.
think there's not going to be illegal streams of Joe Rogan podcast coming on my phone, you're wrong.
Oh, well, they already know who to target. I wonder what his IP address is.
All right, off topic, but you just reminded me of this. My cousin, I told her I really like the Joe Rogan podcast, and my cousin told me she watches the Call Her Daddy podcast on Barstool, so I've
Every
checked
girl.
them out. It looks fun, but apparently they're having like a bunch of trouble.
Yeah,
recently,
dude.
'cause that was all
It's
the
like
headlines.
it's like a more raunchy. You remember that show Girl Code, like Guy Code and Girl Code,
Oh, I
that
used
was
to
on
love
MTV
that.
for a minute?
Those are hilarious.
Yeah, dude, those are elite. But this is like the more explicit, raunchy version
Yeah.
that Barstool was just like, yes, here you go. So like they started off as like their own thing. They had like, dude, it was crazy actually their backstory. They started off with like 12,000 downloads initially in the first few months that they started this thing.
Wow.
Portnoy found them, and then like within them being at Barstool for like a couple months, dude, they had like over 1 million downloads or something crazy.
Yeah.
It was insane. They blew up like a wildfire. And then, you know, in the past like couple months, some shit fell through. They were having some negotiation issues. One of the girls went full blown like behind the back sleazy business moves kind of deal. Wound up with suit guy, some HBO
Wait, were they
exec.
signed at Barstool?
Okay.
Yeah,
They
dude.
already signed
So,
at Barstool?
Signed at Barstool.
I'll give the contract history, right? So they signed. Okay, so I listened. So the last episode, it jumped to the #1 podcast in the world because Dave Portnoy, El Presidente, the GOAT,
The man went off. Not actually
And
off,
he
but he gave
took-
some good back.
he took over their podcast account and just released a 25 to 30 minute thing about what's going on because they haven't released an episode in 6 weeks or 5 weeks or something like that.
Oh,
So when
Which-
they first signed with Barstool,
Side note on that, before you get into this, they lose $100,000 for every episode that doesn't release.
yeah,
Oh.
Barstool does.
how
Yeah.
many do they do a week usually? Do you know?
And they haven't released one since
I
April
think
8th.
like
Or
every episode they're averaging around 1 million views.
was it March 8th or April 8th the last one aired? It was the 8th of one of the months.
I want to say it was April.
I think it was April.
Yeah,
but still,
April makes
that's
sense for the
crazy,
timeline.
dude. $100,000 per episode that they're losing out on?
Yeah, so pretty much Dave Portnoy found them, signed them to a 3-year deal, and this was in November of 2018. Signed them to a 3-year deal, and their base salary was somewhere around 70 grand a year. Base salary.
Not bad
Plus-
for a podcast.
Yeah, where you just have to do 1 hour a week.
Yeah.
That's it. They get money from merch, they got money from alcohol sales, they got money from, a myriad of different things.
A lot of incentives.
Yeah. So they also signed over the IP, the intellectual property rights, to Barstool. Because from Barstool's perspective, it's like, why would you take on a small podcast, grow them because with
Yeah.
their following, and then they can leave whenever they want, and Barstool just is sitting there.
Yeah.
So then Barstool would just be used.
Yeah,
So, I mean,
100%.
Barstool made the right move. Like,
Yeah,
like
so-
business ethics.
Yeah,
101.
no,
Like,
that-
you're not going to screw yourself.
Yeah, that is 100% what happens in stuff
Yeah.
like this. The parent company gets the intellectual property just for the 3 years. After those 3 years is up, they can take it and go where they want to, whatever. So
Wait, is that what
Or
we're at right
renegotiate
now?
the
Are we
contract.
at 2
no,
years right
no,
now?
no.
No. Yeah.
They got a year in. They both made over 490 grand. So both of them were doing fine on the incentives.
Terrible prayer.
Yeah, exactly. They were doing fine on incentives. They never showed up to the office. They started drama with everyone else in the office. And Dave was like, you know what? We don't really care. You guys are killing it. We'll let you do your own thing, unlike any other Barstool thing they do. And then they just went dark. So before that, Alex, the one girl, and Sophia.
He knows their names.
Yeah, dude, I listened to the podcast that Dave talked about it. I've never watched a Call Her Daddy episode. I watched Call Her Daddy
He knows
on
their names.
Impulsive. I
I've
watched
had to
that.
watch a few,
All right,
dude.
so I got the picture. Is the blonde one Alex or is the
Blonde one's Alex.
He knows them by
brunette's
hair
Sophia.
color too.
Yeah,
I just
dude.
set
Well,
him up
I'm
for
gonna be
that.
honest. Alex is hot, so I definitely knew who Alex was. But at the same time, too, what's up, bro?
Yeah, so, no, dude, I told you, I watched him on the Impulsive podcast. It was actually a crazy podcast.
All right.
But anyways,
Podcast god.
it's all I do.
He's like, I watch podcasts. I have a podcast.
Big
I am.
podcast guy.
I am podcast. My name is now podcast.
So,
You can call me Pod.
What's up, Pod?
The Pod Father.
oh, okay, this is what I'm calling it here. So they went into negotiations. They said they wanted to get out. They were shopping themselves to other employers. And Sophia's boyfriend
Suit guy.
is nicknamed Suit Guy, and Dave Portnoy is pushing the cancel Suit Guy.
Oh, cancel
off-
suit guy.
no.
He
Get
is
that guy the
one
fuck
of the
out of here.
ugliest looking dudes I've ever seen in my entire life. Dude, his head is like all three of ours put together.
His face
he
is
looks
huge.
like Quagmire. He looks like
yeah,
Quagmire.
he's Quagmire. His face is huge, but his facial features are condensed to like the very center
Yeah.
point of his face. He's scary looking.
I want to
Nice.
say his name is Peter Nelson.
Guy sucks.
Can you type
You
in
don't
Peter?
even know him. It's Peter Nelson.
Listen,
it is
dude,
Peter
you know,
Nelson.
you can just look at someone and be like, that guy sucks.
Yeah.
He's one of those guys you
So-
look at and you go, that guy sucks.
He's a higher up at HBO. Apparently
So harsh.
he was a part of HBO stopping doing boxing.
He's a sports exec, right, for HBO?
I don't think I think he's just a
I
media.
I read that
exec.
in one of the article or whatever that I was reading. I think it said that he was a sports executive for HBO.
So he's pretty high up there. So what Dave was saying is this guy was like, all right, I'm dating the Sophia girl. I can get them to leave Barstool and sign with HBO's podcast platforms. Seems fair. Seems like it's possible. Probably not going to happen though, because they're signed in for 3 years, and until that, if they leave, Dave and Barstool can just sue the absolute living hell out of them.
Can I ask a question because I genuinely don't know?
What's up?
What streaming platforms does HBO have? Do you
can't-
know?
It starts with an H.
You're calling him Suit Man.
Suit Man's.
So like basically what I'm getting out of that is it's not that big.
But they must have secured a bag. He must have been like, we can give you $2 million a year or something like that.
Well, it's HBO. They definitely have money.
Yeah, HBO's raking it in. Remember, that's for the three of us.
I know.
So, long story short, these last 5 weeks, Dave's been like, all right, hey, we'll negotiate with you. We'll give you a 1-year contract because he just wants money revenue coming in during quarantine. He's like, a lot of our stuff slashed.
Dave's like, I've been day trading a lot. It's not going too hot, so we need to make some moves.
He's actually back above even.
No, didn't you tell me he was down like
That okay, so that
18.
graphic was like his how much he's
Year-to-date loss.
Yes, but that's the graphic itself wasn't year-to-date loss. It was year-to-date something loss, and it showed how much money he's lost every time. But below that one, there's another one that shows how much he's made.
Dude,
every
I swear to
time.
God, it said YDL.
No, I promise you, he talked about it today.
okay? Too
Yeah.
specific.
Anyways, besides
about the girls.
Besides the point. Yeah. So he apparently had a rooftop meeting with the two girls, and was like, "We are going to give you guys $500,000 a year for this year. We're just going to do 1-year deal. We're going to give you the IP address or the IP.
IP address, huh?
Intellectual property.
Yeah, the
We're going to give you the IP
intellectual
address
property.
to Barstool Sports.
For Call Her Daddy. So after the year, they get their money. They'd probably both make over $1 million.
Oh, dude, they're gonna fucking
in
slay.
ad revenue and stuff like that. And after the year, they can leave. No harm, no foul. It's all good.
So it kind of sounds like Dave was totally pro. Let's just keep this thing moving.
Dave
Dude, Dave gave them the bag.
The best offer.
Yeah.
Like Barstool Big Cat was like, where's that for us? He was like, nobody. He's like, me and PFT started Part of My Take, which is the biggest sports podcast in the world. And he's just like, we're not getting the intellectual property from that. That's ludicrous. Dave was like, literally, if this was any other situation, I would freak out, lose my mind, and be like, we're suing you right now. But he was just like, you know what? Because of Corona, I just want to get a revenue stream back up, a big revenue stream at that. He's like, I'll give you more percentage of the merch, more percentage of the alcohol, like all of these different things. They leave that rooftop meeting, and the blonde girl, Alex, was like, met up with Dave and was like, hey, I want back in. I will do that deal 100%. But actually, if you bring Sophia back, I want like 75% because I do all the editing. I do all the camera work. She's like, I've been doing the majority of the work that Sophia's just been kind of doing the on-camera content, which she's also doing. She carries the majority of the content on screen as well.
Do
It's
people
Alex
agree
girl.
with her that she does most of the work?
Hmm?
Is that the general?
That is
consensus
100%
around
the general
office?
consensus.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, Dave was like, that's exactly what happens.
Oh.
He said that even before, like when he initially gave the contracts out, he like Alex was making more after the first year of being with Barstool
by,
than
like-
the other girl. What's the other girl's name again?
Sophia.
Yeah, Sophia.
Only by like
'Cause
Thanks
10
for
or 15
remembering her
grand.
name.
yeah, but still, he's like to me, he's like it was obvious who was doing more work. He's like Alex was doing exactly what Tim said, the camera work, the editing, all that stuff, and he's like, so yeah, she came to me and we negotiated her contract, and she was making more money than Sophia in the first year with him being a Barstool or whatever. And so, I mean, it makes sense going forward. Why
Seems
not?
fair.
Yeah, so Alex apparently tried to talk Sophia into like, hey, let's just go back to Barstool for the year, secure the bag, and then go secure a bigger bag wherever we can go. Sophia, from what we understand, is not about that. So we're either assuming she already agreed to leave.
Big suit man girl.
With
She
Suit-
probably
with
she
Suit
probably
Man.
signed something.
Well, the thing is, if she signed anything, she's screwed because she doesn't have any IP to or
She
intellectual
doesn't own
property
that.
rights.
They still don't even
Yeah.
own that. right?
Barstool owns that.
Still owns that.
Yeah.
And if they refuse to do the show, Barstool owns it forever.
Dude, they could literally just put two other people on it.
Yeah. But now Alex is like, I'll come back. She's like, this kind of showed me that Sophia stuck her neck out for her boyfriend as opposed to the show, the well-being of the show, and now she's being
Snake!
selfish. Yeah, she snaked out. And Dave Portnoy went on, laid this all out. And first off, the memes of Suit Man have been unreal.
The guy's getting annihilated. Absolutely annihilated. He's having a bad time.
Yeah, and Sophia looks like a very, very unintelligent person at the moment. And Alex looks like she kind of went behind Dave's back, but then realized, like,
I mean,
what are we doing here?
She's probably trying to figure out where to lay her loyalty at. Like, do I lay it with Barstool? Do I lay it with this girl I'm doing the show
see,
with? Like,
here's what I'm saying. Like, it's like I get that she has this boyfriend who's high up at HBO, and she was like, oh, maybe this could be like a good deal for us. But then Dave offers you the bag, and you decide to not go with it. Like, what is the deal here? Like, you have your own thing going for you. For me, this is the way I look at it. Like, you can do your own thing aside from whatever you got going on over here. Like, why would you not secure your own bag and ensure your own security before anything else?
probably because probably they got mad. We're like, this isn't fair.
Yeah, it's probably just petty stuff.
It was
No,
more
but they-
than fair, though.
No, but here's the thing: is they probably were like, this isn't fair. And then Dave's like, all right, cool. Like, I'll give you what you want. And they were like, we were in the middle of being mad. What is this? And the
That's
one girl
exactly-
was like,
so-
oh, we got what we wanted. And the
Yeah.
other girl's like, my boyfriend says it could be better.
Yeah, exactly.
Which to me that sounds like petty shit. Like, okay, you have
It
this
is.
great deal that's been presented to you that no other Barstool employee has gotten, let alone like podcast entity.
Oh,
at
it's 100% petty shit. That's
yeah,
all. it
and then
is.
you just decide to continue to forego this. Like,
Well, the
what is
interesting
going
thing
on?
is she has no legal leg to stand on
Oh,
at all.
dude. That's probably why
Like,
she was crying
One,
on Instagram.
she broke her contract. Two, she assumes she has the intellectual property, which she doesn't. It's very clear she doesn't. And three, like she's screwing over her best friend at the same time.
Yeah, secure your bag,
So,
maintain your
one,
friendships. What?
She's screwed from the public perception. Two, she's screwed from the legal perception. Like,
I bet you they're tainted forever now.
I don't
some
think so.
way.
I don't
You
think
don't
so.
think so?
I think if you have the Alex chick back on with another girl, I bet
Well,
that show
that's the
stays.
key.
What if they
Another
both
girl.
come back, though?
But if it's the same girl, I bet you people can be like, she just wants money.
See, I get what you're
I think
saying.
Sophia's done. I think Sophia's 100% done.
I could see it, though, but at the same time, too, I could see it also bouncing back if she decides to come back. I don't know. I feel like they have a pretty solid following, and I feel like chicks are chicks, so whatever. They'll probably just be like, she's a bitch, but I'm going to watch it.
It's got a lot of the sediment build up at the bottom of that beer.
Wow.
Delicious.
Oh, yeah, I'm about to top it off.
But
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see how this plays out here.
Once again, Davey Page views. Davey Portnoy, the
'cause you
El
know-
Presidente, just absolutely takes a terrible situation where one of his most profitable things
Yes.
goes wrong. and
Makes
he's
it a
just like-
spectacle.
he's like, yes. And on top of that, I'm going to make $1 million in a day for Davey Day Trading Global.
Literally. He took this whole situation. He was like, this is a shit show. It's pissing me off. It's a pain in my ass. But I'm going to make this into an absolute spectacle and make this podcast episode #1 for the time being.
Pick out while you're up. You want to grab this beer?
Portnoy does not lose.
He really doesn't.
It's insane, actually. But
Man, it's genius. But on to later topics.
How
Yeah,
did you already get your beer?
yeah, I got mine. We're good.
Yeah, but
Okay.
yeah, I think moving forward would be most advantageous for the entire situation for both Sophie and Alex to re-sign for that deal, get the IP, just play out 45 more podcasts or whatever it is they have to do, get their bag, and then take it wherever they want. I think that's the easiest thing to do. I think that's the best thing to do.
100%.
There's nothing legally that's going to happen to make that situation any better.
Yeah, I mean, why wouldn't you? Like, get your bag, set yourself up, roll with it.
Yeah. A year is not long in a podcast grand scheme of things.
Not to mention, if you do it right, you can bounce back pretty quick,
Well, it's
especially
not
if you have
even
the
like
support of
they're not
Barstool.
making money. They're making a crap ton of money.
I'd be 100% okay with making over 500K.
And here's the thing, they're not making money right now.
Yeah.
This is true.
So why wouldn't you make a move to get back in the realm of things? You'll have the full backing of Barstool if you come back and like do it right. So you'll clear. I mean, you might not clear the blemish, but you'll get over it.
Yeah.
Just put a little makeup on it.
Yeah, dude, for real. That's what chicks do. Just
Yeah. It's crazy, but speaking of Barstool, I was on their website last night, I want to say, and I was scrolling through, and I completely forgot we have a pretty big golf match this weekend, dude.
yeah, dude, happening in
They
Tiger's own backyard in Jupiter, Florida.
Yeah, and now Tom's own backyard. as
No
well.
shit, dude. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
it's not Tom and Tiger.
Yeah, no.
That would have been elite.
That would have been too OP. The two goats.
Yeah. Tom actually had a
So-
great little video for this thing that he threw up on Instagram. He was like, I've never really had trouble beating the Colts, and I've never really had trouble beating the Tigers either, which I assume he meant Bengals. But,
Bengals or there's another team.
well, there's the Jaguars, but I don't know.
Yeah,
I don't think
that's
there's another
fair.
Tiger NFL team besides the Bengals.
I think he just said large cats, if we're being honest, because that encompasses the Jaguars. Anyways, yeah, you get the point.
So
yeah, you got a face-off between Phil Mickelson and Tom Brady against Peyton Manning and Tiger Woods.
all for charity.
Yeah, all for charity. Really cool match.
This Saturday,
Um,
Jupiter, Florida.
So what we know right now, Tom Brady is a better golfer than Peyton Manning. They've both said that.
Yeah,
Tiger, although a better golfer than Phil Mickelson, a lot would argue.
Phil's been more consistent lately.
Well, Phil just beat him on a one-on-one tournament.
Yeah, Phil beat him in Vegas for whatever it was, like $1 million or whatever.
Yeah, that was sick, but also you could tell they weren't taking it that seriously.
No, too, but like also in like major play and like PGA play, Phil's been more consistent in terms of placing than Tiger has been. Tiger won the Masters, which was huge, but other than that, Phil has been placing better recently and the past 3 years or whatever than Tiger has. So it'll be good nonetheless. I mean,
Yeah.
Tiger and Phil are two OGs that have been playing since the early 2000s, late 90s against each other,
mid-90s.
which is insane.
You know what's crazy? I didn't realize Phil only has 5 majors, right?
Yeah. Phil's like that guy who's always in the hunt, but
Dude,
like falls off.
Phil is literally Peyton Manning, and Tiger's literally Tom Brady in their respective sports. Like, it
Sure.
makes so much
They
sense.
probably said that when they picked teams.
They're like, we'll split them up.
Yeah.
Who's the best at their sport?
It's crazy though, because TB is actually
He's a
TB12's a
very
pretty
good
good golfer.
golfer.
Yeah, he's
Is
pretty
he?
good.
Yeah.
He's definitely pretty all right. Peyton, I've seen Peyton actually play some really good rounds of golf, but I've also seen Peyton play some really bad rounds of golf, specifically the Pebble Beach Pro-Am.
Yeah.
Peyton had a pretty tough time. But then again, that's not an easy course, so I don't really expect anybody to go out there if you're not a professional golfer and have a great day.
Very true. Pebble Beach is tough.
Pebble Beach is tough.
Yeah, it'll be
dude.
interesting. If you had to take a guess, who wins? It's just a scramble, right?
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, dude. I have a hard time betting. I would probably put my money on like Tiger Peyton.
Really? I was about to say the opposite, and I hate Tom Brady, so.
Yeah, we know you hate Tom Brady. No, I think Peyton's gonna be able to pull a good enough game together. They're both getting Tom and Peyton both get they're both playing at like a 3 handicap.
Yeah.
So that's what the rules are, I guess. And then obviously Tiger and Phil they're pro golfers, so that doesn't necessarily apply.
The reason why I think it's going to be TB12 Phil is because I think Phil might have a mental edge over Tiger after beating him one-on-one.
Sure.
And Tom definitely has a mental edge over Peyton. That's without saying.
Yeah, so mental edge is definitely going to be a thing. I think at the same time, too, in light of, I mean, Tiger lost to Phil, so Tiger's coming for blood. Tiger wants to win this one bad. Even though it's charity, Tiger wants this dub.
100%.
And I think Peyton is like, okay, Tom, you might have got me on the football field, but I've had a lot of time in retirement to practice my golf game. You haven't retired yet, so I'm coming for this dub because I need to beat you.
Okay, I'm going to put it this way. I think that Tiger's going to shoot better than Phil throughout the day, but I think Tom's going to shoot better than Peyton at a larger gap. And I think that's where the difference comes in. I think I just want to see some fun. I want to see them all talk smack to each other.
Oh, it's going to be
something fun,
that's literally going to be the whole day. It's going to be great. It's literally going to be them standing on the tee box waiting to tee off, and they're just going to be like, "You won't shank it."
I'm not glad you. Peyton,
It's going to
Manning-
be. I'll tell you this much. It's going to be more shit talk between Peyton and TB12 than Tiger and Phil. Tiger and Phil. I mean, they're
100%.
professional golfers. They're definitely going to poke fun, but they also
They're gonna
understand the
poke
etiquette
fun.
of the game. So they're definitely going to be a little bit more reserved. But Peyton and TB12 are going to be at each other's necks.
I bet that the two pros, Tiger and Phil, will talk crap to the football players, but they won't talk crap to each other. Like it'll be legit.
Oh, yeah, they'll
competition
probably-
between the two.
Oh,
of them.
yeah.
I can see
If
that
you
all
think
day.
Tiger isn't going to talk smack to Tom, you're wrong. And if Tom let's say Tiger talks a little smack on a tee box, Tom hits a bomb, know he's going to throw it right back at Tiger.
I'm curious
Oh, yeah.
to see between Tom and Peyton how good of sports these two can be.
Sure.
In terms of like if one's winning and one's losing. I just don't see either one like I feel like it's going to be pretty obvious on camera who's pissed off and who's not.
Peyton's a good loser. This is
Oof.
true. In
You have
all
to
of
be a
his
loser to
like
be a good
major
loser.
losses, he handles it very gracefully. Brady, not so much.
Yeah.
Brady is much more of a
I think the camera's going to be on Brady quite a bit.
yeah. But dude, Peyton absolutely roasted Tom as well. They did a Zoom call between the four of them.
Oh
put it
yeah.
on,
It was elite.
and
Dude,
Peyton's
Peyton went
funny.
after
Peyton is
Tom.
very funny.
Oh god.
He was like, "Yeah, you're not gonna break the hearts like you did with everyone in New England when you completely abandoned the team that made you." Or some
yeah, he's
stuff
like, I was kind
that."
of hoping this one would be played in Boston. He's like, because that's no longer Tom's backyard and everybody hates him there.
Yeah. He's
I was
"No
like,
home
that was
field advantage."
savage. Even Tiger was like straight faced for a majority of that Zoom call.
He was
And the
like-
moment Peyton said that, Tiger was just like, it was elite actually.
dude,
It
Tom
was so funny.
Brady had like the most awkward laugh with it. He was like, "Aha, no."
Yeah. He's
And
like,
I was like, "Yeah, you." I literally said Peyton might be my favorite quarterback of all
Peyton
time because
followed
of
it
that.
up though with an elite line too. He's like, yeah, I was hoping it was gonna be played in Boston because they hate him out there, but unfortunately, after a B&E, Tom's not allowed to leave the state, so we're playing in Tiger's backyard. And I was like, Peyton Manning, let's go.
Peyton's a funny dude, man. He's built for being in front of the camera.
What
Most
was-
football
Real.
players aren't like that.
What was that award show that he was at where he was out there lighting people up?
ESPYs.
Yeah, the ESPYs.
He hosted
dude.
the ESPYs
He
and
killed the
Boom,
ESPYs.
roasted. Like Tom Brady could not do the ESPYs
No.
at all.
Oh no. But Peyton went up there and he was just like, I'm just kidding. But it was just like in Peyton Manning.
He said some real savage
Where,
things.
dude, he just came out swinging and would just be like, but it's a joke.
Yeah.
It was elite. Who's that dude? Ricky. Oh, come on, he's a comedian who just
Gervais?
helped.
Ricky
Yeah,
Gervais?
Ricky
Gervais.
dude, lit
Oh.
up. What was it? The Grammys.
Yeah. What was
Lit
it?
up
No, it was
the
the Golden
Grammys.
Globes.
Golden Globes
Yeah.
lit up the Golden Globes, and it kind of just I don't know.
He went at the pretentiousness of Hollywood, and everyone sitting there was absolutely appalled.
It was just savage calls left and right, and I was just like, oh my god.
When
But
he
yeah,
made the Jeffrey Epstein joke, or was it the
Yep.
Weinstein joke?
Weinstein.
Who's the why? Yeah,
He
yeah.
made a
Weinstein.
Weinstein joke about how everyone in
He's like,
the
I know
room
you
was
lot of guys are friends with him.
and probably like helped keep all that stuff secret. They were all just like the picture of Tom Hanks where he was just like
Tom Hanks was like, damn.
He was like,
He's
Wilson!
It was
Tom
absolutely-
Hanks was like, apparently I'm not a smart man.
Oh my god.
I might not be a smart man, but I know what love is.
Love you, Jenny.
I love you, Jenny. We was like peas and carrots. Anyways,
Elite movie.
I love Forrest Gump, but
So that's on
Yeah.
Saturday.
Saturday, man. I think they tee off at noon,
I thought it
1
was
o'clock.
Sunday. Is
Saturday.
it Saturday?
Saturday.
That-
It's like that charity event.
Because we got NASCAR on Sunday, which was a huge success, by the way.
Yeah.
Last
NASCAR
weekend,
killed it.
yeah.
Yep, it was the most viewed race they had in like 4.5, 5 years. And it was a good race. Kevin
Yep.
Harvick pulled away at the end, but the first 50 laps were absolute chaos. It was great.
Yep. And same day as the NASCAR race, another golf event. There was a charity event between like Dustin Johnson, Ricky Fowler, Ricky Fowler, Rory McIlroy.
Justin Rose?
I want to say Justin Rose was part of it. I can't remember though. I caught the tail end of it because I was watching the NASCAR race. But
NASCAR race was elite.
yeah, dude, it was like $5 million to all the charity. It was like
Yep.
it came down to a sudden death between Dustin Johnson and Rory McIlroy, closest to the pin in a par 3, and Rory nailed an amazing shot. I was like, "Let's go! That's why you're the number one in the world." It was elite.
It's true.
So golf, whether you like it or not, actually an electric sport. You just got to pay attention, just like NASCAR.
Rory's the number one golfer in the world because he deadlifts, dude.
So does Tiger.
Big
Those
facts.
commercials are insane.
Tiger's
Remember
like, "Yeah, I
those?
can deadlift 400 pounds." And he's like, "But my back is also in shambles. I don't
Dude.
understand why."
Did you do you remember those commercials with Rory McIlroy where he was just sitting there like deadlifting for Nike?
He was like, yeah, it was like a hex bar deadlift
Yeah,
or
it
whatever,
was
and
like,
he like
what's
had
going
that
on?
thing racked up with 4 plates or whatever. It's like,
Yeah.
nice, dude, good for you.
Oh yeah.
Rory's a
Flexing.
beast. He's an Irishman.
Oh no, boys! I just looked at the clock. I got to call last call on this episode. So
Prick.
Oh, I was having fun with this one,
I
dude.
know.
Dude, I noticed you didn't finish your beer.
Well, yeah, I'd like to save it so I can give some final tasting notes on it.
Oh, nice, yeah.
Sorry, I don't need to down mine.
Let's hear
Enjoy
it.
Yeah, all right. So, like I said at the beginning, I was interested to see how this beer would sit with me throughout the entire show. And I have to say, once again, pleasantly surprised.
Pleasantly
Thought-
surprised, yep.
The dryness in my mouth kind of faded away after a while. I think my palate got used to the beer. I'm not going to say it was the best beer I've ever had, but I'm going to say it is a very solid beer. And if you like kind of an eccentric beer, something that's not super consistent throughout, it's definitely something to try when you're just looking for something different. I
Yeah.
think that's the best way to put it. Do I think I'm going to keep this stocked in my fridge? Probably not.
Fair
But
enough.
I'm going to give this a mad decent on the rating scale here, and yeah, I'm excited to try more of Latitude 42's beers. I understand that this is something that they try to go a little outside the box of, which I really appreciate coming from a brewing company. And yeah, I really don't have any complaints. It was malty, it was sweet, it had a little hint of yeast.
Yeah, I think you bring
bitterness, but yeah,
a lot of good details into that there. Sums it up pretty well. I'm also pretty much on the same aspect as you are. It's a mad decent beer. Like it was, it's very dynamic, like you said. It has a great profile. It's not necessarily what you expect out of an amber. So if you are looking for an amber, I wouldn't necessarily say that this is the one to go with.
That's a very
I
good
think
point.
this gives a good, I guess, a segue from maybe a combination between an amber and a sweeter beer, like maybe a sour per se, but it doesn't necessarily have that sweet, lasting taste or overwhelming taste that most sours typically do. It sits pretty well. I thought this one sat a little heavier than I expected per se, and I think just maybe the way the beer is as a whole. But yeah, very sweet, really good like springtime beer. Once again, probably not something that I'll be drinking regularly, but I'll put it this way: if somebody walked up to me and tossed me one of these, I'd happily crack it open, enjoy a conversation and a beer with that individual, and just chalk it up as a pretty good beer.
Couldn't agree anymore. Kyle.
I mean, I'm gonna roll with what Nick said. It's a little too heavy for me. I don't think I like the sweet quality in it. I think that's a personal preference. It's kind of like if somebody offered you something spicy and sweet, but you don't like spicy, you're probably not gonna like it.
Right.
I kind of like the bitterness. I kind of like the drier qualities that this beer has, but I don't like the sweeter portion of it. So, in that regard, it wasn't my favorite, but great redeeming quality. This beer for this 4-pack was only $8.99, so it's really not going to run you too much. And overall, it was pretty solid. I think my score is going to be a damn good on this one.
Nice, man.
Interesting.
Yeah, no, it's I think you pretty much spot on. I think we all pretty much encompass this beer pretty well for what it is. And, I mean, if you're interested in trying something that's a little outside the box, maybe a little bit outside the realm of something you're used to trying, give this one a go.
Yeah, I definitely think this has its niche market, 100%.
Sure.
Yeah.
I think there's definitely a lot of beer drinkers out there that would love this beer.
Oh, yeah. So, thanks for tuning in, though, to episode 13.
Yeah.
Dropping this on Friday, episode 13. Hope you guys liked it. Obviously, if you have questions, comments, concerns, anything like that, drop them down in the comments below. Let us know what you think. Let us know what beers you want us to try next. What, maybe not even beers. Beers, spirits, wines, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm cool with it all.
Yeah, we're willing. I mean, it's called Slightly Buzzed. Yes, we're going to focus on craft brews.
Yes.
100%. That is the focus of the show. But also,
Maybe we
you
do
guys
a one-off.
if you've been watching,
Yeah.
you know I like my bourbon.
You know Tim likes his
Ooh.
bourbon.
You know I also like a good Pinot.
Yeah, I was just saying,
Ooh.
I enjoy wine too. If there's something that you see that maybe we should give it a go,
Yeah.
let us know.
Yeah, definitely. But other than that, make sure to like and subscribe this video. Follow us on our Twitter and Instagram handles, which will pop up somewhere around here. Maybe,
Around
maybe
this,
not.
this area.
I don't know. We'll
Give
put
it about
that. We'll
20
put that on
seconds.
Kyle.
20
That's
seconds.
above our pay grade.
Ones and twos. What's up, boy?
But yeah. Well, other than that, you guys got anything else? No? All good?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Well, you guys have a great evening. Stay slightly buzzed, and we'll see
Cheers,
you soon.
y'all. Cheers.